It is reported about the completion of tests of a promising deck-based attack helicopter Ka-52K Katrin. The machine is ready for serial production, and prototypes are now being attracted to new events. Plans for production and supply to the troops have not yet been announced, but it is already clear what consequences they will lead to. The latest news. The recent successes of the Ka-52K project were recently reported by RIA News with reference to the general designer of the National Center for Helicopter Engineering Mil and Kamov Sergei Mikheyev. Provides optimistic and encouraging news and estimates of the project's prospects. According to Mikheyev, the Katrin tests have been completed. There are no fatal remarks from the military department. Preparation for production was also completed. The progress plant in Arseniv is ready to produce equipment, you just need to press a button. The general designer of the NCV has no doubts that the series will be launched and the new helicopter will enter service in the Navy. In addition, such a future is predicted for promising modifications of the Ka-52K. As Mikheyev pointed out that various test activities are carried out after the main checks. Ka-52K are involved in tests of newly built ships. Each ship has its own aerodynamic features and other specifics. Therefore, during general tests, helicopter takeoff and landing checks are carried out. In addition, the general designer recalled that various tests are carried out throughout the entire life cycle of the equipment. This is necessary for the development of new types of equipment, weapons, etc. Only the power plant and the supporting system do not need additional checks. How soon the customer will press the button and start the serial production of new helicopters is not specified. Also, the exact needs of the Ministry of Defense and the possible amount of financing for construction remain unknown. During testing, the development of the deck modification of the Ka-52 Alligator attack helicopter has been carried out since the beginning of the last decade. This technique was originally proposed for inclusion in aviation, a group of new UDCs of the Mistral type. The Russian fleet never received such ships, but work on helicopters continued and led to the desired results. The first flight of the experimental Ka-52K took place in the spring of 2015. After that, a full-scale test program began with the development of all new solutions, components, and systems. As follows from the latest news, but such events took just over 5 years. In the updated design, we found and corrected all the shortcomings, and also prepared production facilities. The rather long test duration is associated with a number of important innovations affecting almost all the main elements of the helicopter. So, for basing on a ship, the carrier system was redesigned, introducing blade folding units. Similar devices were introduced into the wing design. Taking into account the new conditions of basing and operation, all major structural elements were protected from corrosion. The complex of airborne electronic equipment has undergone some modifications. So, initially in the Katrin project they wanted to use a new radar based on the serial Zuk-E, but later they returned to the standard for the Ka-52 crossbow. The existing optoelectronic station was replaced with a new OES-52. The use of a number of other instruments required for operation over the sea was also reported. The complex of weapons has undergone significant modifications. Katrin retained its 30mm cannon and is still capable of carrying unguided missiles, as well as air-to-ground and air-to-air guided weapons. To expand combat capabilities, taking into account the new tactical role, the ability to carry free-falling bombs is provided. Also, for the first time in domestic and world practice, an attack helicopter received X-31 cruise missiles and X-35 anti-ship missiles. The change in the basing method, numerous design modifications, the replacement of equipment and the addition of the weapons complex led to the need for long-term comprehensive tests. Therefore, only a modification of the serial Ka-52 was tested for more than 5 years. At the same time, tests were carried out not only at land and sea ranges. In 2016, it was reported about the participation of the Ka-52K in the Syrian operation. The helicopters operated from the deck of the Admiral Kuznetsov. Helicopters for the Navy. Upon completion of the tests, the Ministry of Defense is able to place a state order for the production of serial Ka-52Ks for delivery to the naval aviation. How soon it will appear and how much technology it will provide is not yet known. It should be noted that this will not be the first order for Katrans. The first contract of this kind appeared back in 2014 and provided for the supply of 32 helicopters to equip 2 Mistrals. France refused to hand over these ships, and the position of the aircraft was uncertain. Later, the ships were acquired by Egypt, and the Russian side sold him the Katrans. The issue of equipping domestic ships with the new Ka-52K is still not fully disclosed. The possibility of basing such equipment on the Admiral Kuznetsov was confirmed. Helicopters are tested on ships of other classes and types. There are also various estimates and forecasts. Last year, the domestic media reported that one Katran could be based on the BDK Puerto Rico 117112. Such ships are already ready and 2 are under construction. The basing of single helicopters is also possible on other ships, from the corvette and larger. However, the combat effectiveness in these cases is seriously limited. In July, the laying of 2 promising UDC Puerto Rico 23900 took place. As reported, the aviation group of these ships will include up to 16 helicopters of various types, including Ka-52K. Thus, to obtain maximum strike capabilities, the 2 ships need 32 Katran helicopters. Thus, the total requirements of the Russian Navy for new helicopters may exceed 32 to 35 units. However, it should be borne in mind that real results of this kind will have to wait several more years. The construction of the 3rd and 4th landing ships of Project 11711 will be completed in 2025 to 26, and the newest UDC of Project 23900 will be commissioned even later. However, the Navy already has all the capabilities to ensure that all these ships receive the necessary aviation equipment on time. Katran has passed tests and is ready for production. Now everything depends only on the decisions of the Ministry of Defense.